What if you could build a mindset that just doesn't see roadblocks, a mindset that only sees puzzles that need solving? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. We're breaking down a super powerful framework taken from this absolutely electrifying motivational speech. We'll look at 5 core principles that are all about forging an unstoppable mentality. Ready? Let's get into it.
So, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to learn how to focus our energy like a lion, not a dog. Big difference. Then, we'll get into building habits that pretty much put success on autopilot. After that, we'll uncover the insane power of just being consistent. Then things get a little wild. We'll explore the law of intense belief, and we'll wrap it all up with the final, most powerful step, learning how to literally declare your own future into existence.
All right, let's kick things off with principle number 1. It all starts with this really powerful metaphor, and it forces you to ask a pretty critical question about yourself. When a problem comes at you, are you a lion or are you a dog? Seriously, the answer tells you everything about where you're putting your energy.
So the speech itself just jumps right in with this super vivid image. I want you to picture this for a second. You hit a dog with a stick. Then you turn around and you hit a lion with that same stick. The speaker argues that what happens next is completely different, like worlds apart. And right there, in that difference, is the key to our very first mindset shift.
And here's exactly what that difference looks like. The dog, it's going to bite the stick. It thinks the stick is the problem, right? It's fighting the symptom. But the lion? Oh, the lion doesn't even care about the stick. It ignores it completely. It goes straight to the source, the one holding the stick, and it deals with the root cause of the problem permanently.
So that really brings the whole metaphor home, doesn't it? Think about your own life. Are you spending all your energy attacking the sticks, the symptoms, the little distractions, or are you developing that lion-like focus to go after the real source of your problems? That right there, that's the first major shift we need to make. Stop fighting the symptom, start tackling the source.
Okay, but having that laser-like focus is one thing. It's kind of useless if you can't keep it up, right? So how do you maintain that lion's focus, not just for a moment, but day in and day out? Well, that leads us straight into our second principle. Habit is success. This is all about building an engine for yourself that just drives you forward almost on autopilot.
The core idea here is that successful people aren't just successful because they try really hard. Nope. They're successful because their habits are successful. Think about that. Achievement isn't something you force, it just becomes the natural result of a solid daily routine you've built.
In this quote from the speech, it just nails it. You don't go chasing success. Instead, you build the kind of habits that pull success to you. If you can just get your habits right, success literally has no other option but to show up at your doorstep.
This comparison just makes the point so clearly. Look at talent over here on the left. Sure, it might give you a head start, a higher starting point, but it can be all over the place, and a lot of times it just hits a wall. Now look over at consistency. You might be starting from absolute zero, but look at that graph. It's a powerful, steady climb upwards. And over the long haul, that disciplined, consistent climb is going to beat raw, unfocused talent every single time.
This whole idea of consistent effort is so crucial, it actually gets its very own principle. That brings us to number 3, the power of लगातार. And that's a Hindi word that basically means continuously or nonstop. And this is where we really see how small, kind of boring, ordinary actions, when you do them again and again and again, they start to compound into something truly extraordinary.
I mean, just look at these unbelievable, real-world stories. You've got Dashrath Manji, who just chipped away at a mountain for more than 20 years and carved a road through it. Then there's Jadav Pang, who planted trees on a totally barren piece of land for 30 years and created an entire forest by himself. What was the secret ingredient for both of them? लगातार. Just that unwavering, relentless consistency.
Okay, so to really drive this point home, the speaker uses this very earthy analogy. The quote basically says that in nature, the things with the darkest color are often the most valuable, and that we should be looking for desi mal, which kind of translates to the real, authentic, substantial stuff. The message underneath it all is a call to value what's deep and what lasts, not the shiny, superficial stuff. And that is the very heart of long-term consistency.
All right, this next principle, this one is probably the most mind-bending of them all. It's all about how an intense desire, what the speaker calls a thirst, can actually literally shape the world around you. The basic idea? You find what you are truly, deeply, desperately looking for.
And to explain this, the speaker asks this brilliant question. Just imagine this scenario. A smoker is on one of those long-haul, air-conditioned trains. There's nowhere to buy cigarettes, nobody seems to be smoking anywhere. So how is it that they almost always manage to find a smoke? How does that happen? Well, the answer is what he calls the law of thirst. It all starts with this intense, burning desire. It's a need that is just non-negotiable. And what that does is it sharpens your focus to a razor's edge, so you are only looking for that one specific thing. And then, and this is the wild part, the speech says the universe itself seems to conspire to put that thing right in front of you.
And you see this thirst playing out all the time in real life. That smoker on the train, you bet he finds that cigarette. A wedding party that ends up in some random village they've never been to? Guaranteed they'll find the liquor store in less than half an hour. Or how about the person who's so obsessed with their dream that they literally don't have time to get sick? In every single one of these cases, the thirst for the goal is just, it's too powerful to fail. And all this leads to a pretty powerful, maybe even challenging conclusion. Your reality is basically a mirror reflecting your deepest desires. Whatever you truly, genuinely thirst for, that's what you're going to end up seeing and finding in your life.
And that brings us to our fifth and final principle. This is the one that really ties everything else together. See, it's not enough to just want something. You have to declare it. This is about actively creating your legacy by speaking your future into being. So the speech lays down this ultimate challenge. It's not about just wanting to get rich for yourself, for your own sake. The real call to action here is to make a powerful declaration out loud to the universe that you will become successful for your children, for the next generation.
So why is this so important? Why declare it? Because, according to the speech, your mindset is inherited. Things like poverty, negativity, a sense of limitation, they don't just stop with you. They can get passed down from one generation to the next. So when you make a declaration like this, you're not just talking. You're actively breaking a cycle. You're choosing, consciously, to create a brand new legacy for everyone who comes after you. So we've walked through these 5 powerful principles, right? From focusing like a lion all the way to the power of declaring your future. And that leaves us with just one final, very personal question. Now that you have this framework for an unstoppable mindset, what is the one thing, the one future that you are going to declare to the universe starting right now?